What up? What's happening? Floyd on the Android here checking in, and we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna be brief about this whole Ja Rule G-Unit run-in that he had on the plane. First off the top, I feel like Ja stood on business, man. I mean, real talk. Yeah, you're on a plane, of course, we know. Hopefully, now the funny part is everybody growing and they still holding on to this beef. But hey, I understand it been bloodshed and stuff, all that good stuff. So not good stuff, but you know what I mean. So moving along, I can understand why they still beefing. That's gonna go on for a good little, probably forever. You know what I'm saying? Second off, yeah, everybody on the plane. You got Tony Yayo on one side, Uncle Murder on the other side. So where can the man go? He ain't got no reason or nowhere to flee or try to escape. So, he had no choice really but to stand on business. Even if he was scared on the inside, he can't let them know he's scared on the inside. Then, I really feel like, I really feel like it's one of them situations where, you got Ja Rule like, I'm glad they didn't swing. And Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder like, I'm glad he didn't swing. So basically, we got a bunch of old heads, granddaddies, old unks. Everybody scared of everybody if we just gonna keep this thing 100, man. And so, it probably turned into a little shouting match, you know what I'm saying? Because they tried to edit the video, Uncle Bird and Tony Yayo to make themselves look good. Then when we finally seen the whole thing, we see Ja Rule standing up there. Then he just off the top throw a pillow at the man. We got grown men, grown platinum artists tossing a pillow. One tossing a pillow at the other one, But the only thing I hate about this situation is, the YNs coming up in the game, it's like they looking at this like, man, how could they tell us something? And these some old heads. I mean, imagine yourself being Ja Rule or Tony Yayo or Uncle Murder, and you trying to, encourage a young one in the game, man, that just came in the game, how to, fly right and do the right thing. And they looking at you like, man, you got kids our age and you trying to throw hands on an airplane. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff, it's okay to evolve, but, it ain't about what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't just be the same old. Then, they jumping on the phone, call it 50, like, man, in a way it's kind of sad because, y'all, I understand loyalty true enough. But it's a way to be loyal without looking like an old flunky too, you know what I'm saying? Because, let's just be honest, they probably see more money when they probably got their own little gigs and side hustles and do this, that, and the third. True enough. But they really see the big money when they were 50 because, they ain't really putting no music out and then like that. Then, Ja probably still performing his hits and stuff like that. So, everybody's still straight. But what I don't understand is, shoot, man, if I'm sitting on money, I don't care if we beefing or what, you know what I'm saying? I would have just let you sit down on the plane. You wouldn't have had to get on another flight and then like that, because you're really supposed to keep your mind elevated with your next move, making it your best move, focusing on your money, your assets, and most of all, your family, man. You know what I'm saying? But this way it goes back to the flunky stuff, because even if you want to hit job with what a cool, what's happening and stuff like that, now you afraid of how 50 gonna take it. You afraid he might cut you off because you didn't handle the Ja Rule situation in a way that would satisfy him. So now you still screwed. But hey, you just got to be your own man on things, man. So my take on that whole situation is, I'm glad they didn't throw no hands, you know what I'm saying? So maybe next time, they won't run into each other on the same flight. But you know how that beef is, you know what I'm saying? We'll hear about it. Then it'll go months and months, won't nobody say nothing, because here it's already smoke up under the rug now, you know what I'm saying? It's back to Brorilla, you know what I'm saying? That was just a little hiccup, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. So, just my 2 cents on this thing, and I'm signing out. Floyd on Android. Y'all be safe out there.